Hello guys, welcome to Disney Dreamlight Valley. Little warning, this video is gonna get very controversial. We're gonna discuss basically the cancellation of free-to-play and all the news that we've been getting lately about the new expansion and all the people's reaction to it. I'm gonna try to stay as unbiased as possible, and I'm gonna look into both camps. One camp, people are very happy that free-to-play was canceled, and they think it's going to be better for the game in the long run. Another camp that are pissed about the fact that they will have to pay additional $30 for expansion and that free-to-play is not happening. And both camps have some valid arguments. So let's dive into the thick of it and try to keep it positive. If you're going to leave a comment expressing your opinion, please keep it polite and do not attack anybody for having a different opinion. We're just here to enjoy a beautiful world on Disney Dreamlight Valley and have some fun. Let's jump right into it. So I've been reading a bunch of people's reviews and comments about the news, and I basically pinpointed a couple of the most repeated points. Let's start with negatives. So in my opinion, probably the worst thing about free-to-play being cancelled is the fact that they went back on the word. They promised the game go free-to-play in 2023, and now they come out and say that it's basically not happening. This choice ensures that Disney Dreamlight Valley will be able to continue delivering on a premium game experience for all players. They made a choice which they knew were not going to be popular choice. And I'm going to give them credit when the credit is due. They went back on the word, which is a bad thing on one case. On the other case, on the other's hand, it shows that they're willing to adapt and to learn from their mistakes. By mistakes, I mean Speedstorm. That was a complete disaster of free-to-play launch, if we're being honest. So basically, Gameloft is the one who's getting the worst part of the deal of going back and not releasing the game free-to-play. In my opinion, it does hurt their reputation. People are going to be very skeptical about their promises going forward. And it does break a certain level of trust, because they were advertising this game from the start as eventually going free-to-play. And now they went back on the word. So that is a negative. And I fully agree, people being pissed on them for changing their mind. But there is a good side to it. So in case you didn't know, there is another game developed by Gameloft, which is also using Disney franchise. And it's very similar. It's called Disney Speedstorm. And it used exactly the same model. It came out as early access that people had to pay for. Pretty much the same thing, founder editions with a certain amount of premium currency in them and some exclusive items. And then the game went free-to-play about a month ago. And from what I've been seeing and hearing, it was a complete disaster. If you look at amount of people who were playing the game before the free-to-play launch, it was like pretty low. Then free-to-play launch, it goes up, and then it just went down. It's still higher than it was before the launch. But the fun part is that Disney Dreamlight Valley currently has more active players as being paid game as Disney Speedstorm free-to-play. Some could argue that the Disney Dreamlight Valley is just a better game, so it makes sense. And this is, in my opinion, why they decided not to release it free-to-play, because there is way too much potential in this game. With Disney Speedstorm, they probably didn't see initial sales do too well, and they tried to make at least the money they invested into the game development by introducing a bunch of insanely expensive microtransactions and releasing game free-to-play as soon as possible. And I have a feeling it didn't go so well. But in Disney Dreamlight Valley, people proved that they are willing to pay. Disney Dreamlight Valley is much better game, and I feel like it deserves to be a premium game. I think it's going to be better for the future of the game in the long run if it doesn't go free to play. Now, that comes to the second negative, and it's the fact that a lot of people were patiently waiting because of the promise of the game coming out in 2023 as free-to-play. People were patiently waiting and hoping to get to play this game, and a lot of people actually got very impatient, and the fact now that the free-to-play is cancelled, most of the people that have been waiting for free-to-play probably are done and completely gone from the community. They're probably not gonna buy it. Some people probably will buy it, but I feel like the fact that it was promised for so long and people were already getting frustrated, the fact that it's cancelled is just gonna alienate a giant population from the game, which on one hand is a bad thing, but on the other hand, for us people already playing, it probably is not that bad of a thing, because once again, less competition in Dream Snaps, less griefers, as they say, basically people who just make new free accounts, try to ruin everybody's experience and then get banned, and then they create a new account. Basically people with no life and a lot of free time who just thrive making others' lives difficult, miserable. Anyway, the point is, if the game has a monetary point of entry, like barrier to entry, it will discourage those people from joining the game, and in my opinion, it's only a good thing for this community. Another negative thing about the game not going free to play is the fact that a lot of people were actually waiting to get a game on another console. For example, you've been playing on Switch, you have a PC, you want to try this game on PC. There is no way to just transfer it. You have to purchase an additional copy on a different platform, and a lot of people were expecting to be able to do this for free once the game goes free to play. To be fair, that's a valid concern, and I can understand why a lot of people are pissed. Now, if they want to play on different console, they have to buy the game all over again. However, unlike most of the games that I've ever seen, you are not just buying the game in this case. You are also buying Moonstones. Moonstones come inside the game founder package, and the amount of Moonstones you're getting is actually, in most cases, better deal than buying those Moonstones directly from the game. And I can understand a lot of people are on the budget. They just want to spend $30 on the game and be able to play it everywhere, but it's highly rare. I don't even know if it's if any games do that when they allow, if it's a paid game, if you bought it on one console, does it allow you to have a free copy of the game on a different console? I don't think this exists. I might be wrong. If somebody knows of a game like that, let me know in the comments. But it's like, it's a very common thing that if you buy the game, it's only available on the console or the platform that you bought it on. And yeah, I can understand that it would be nice to get the game for free on the other console, but you can also probably just buy another edition, just a cheap one, get like 8,000 Moonstones, especially if you wait for sale. You can get it for like 20 bucks. It's going to be very helpful and fun, and you'll be able to play it on 2 devices and have access to a lot of future content on both devices. So I definitely see your point, guys, and I'm sorry that all the people who are waiting to get it on a second console now will have to either not do it and just keep playing on the same console, or will have to pay more money to get another copy of the game. Alright, let's just read through some of the comments, and I'm gonna try to give my response to some of the most popular opinions. I'm so excited! I've been really wanting multiplayer feature from this game. Thank you guys for all the work so far, and I'm looking forward to the future of Dreamlight Valley. My god! Top comment is actually positive! The hope is not lost! So if I understand correctly, you ultimately refuse to make your game free to play to maintain the best possible game quality, while the game crashes a lot, not stable, or fluid. Valid concerns. Valid concerns. However, I don't think that going free to play would solve any of these problems either. So in this case, we're just hoping that, considering that it's like, I feel like free-to-play game would be way less, like being a paid game kind of commands certain quality to the game, and I totally agree. Right now we're not at that level yet. We are not at the game is not as stable as you would expect a premium paid game to be, but there is still some time until official release, so there is still a chance we're gonna get most of the bugs fixed and most of the issues fixed until December 5. Maybe they're trying really hard to polish out the game as much as they can before official end of early access. So we'll see how this goes. Okay, this is a very, very popular opinion. Early access players who purchase the Ultimate Edition should receive the expansion pass for free, not just the cosmetics. I'm indifferent to free-to-play versus paid, but you should adjust things accordingly, like also making your items in the shop cost less. Oh no, please let's not talk about the premium shop. Premium shop has been not as bad as it used to be because of the Dream Snap rewards. It's not as big of a deal as it used to be, and they definitely addressed it in a very effective way, in my opinion. About getting Ultimate Edition, like if you had Ultimate Edition, you should get the expansion for free. I can see where you're coming from, because right now, if we take a look at the packages that we have right now, if you want to get, for example, the Gold Edition that's going to be available on December 5th, it's going to cost $70, pretty much same price as Ultimate. And it's gonna include 15,000 Moonstones, all the premiums, and it also includes the expansion. So the logic here is, if I paid $17 for the Ultimate Edition, I should also have an expansion. Otherwise, it will cost me $100. What would cost somebody who just joins the game at $70. But if you think about it, it is not the same package. It is not the same package, not even close. Let's take a look at the Gold Edition. Let's zoom in a little bit. So, Gold Edition comes with, first of all, these 3 items, which you already get. You will get these items if you are founder of any level. If you bought the game for $30, you're still going to get all of these 3 items when the game comes out. Then, it comes with 15,000 Moonstones. Well, guess what? It's not 15,000. It's actually 10,000. Because 5 of these 15 belongs to the Rift in Time. So technically you only get 10,000 Moonstones for $70. And you don't get any of the super cool premium items from Cinderella and other collections, like those fancy candelabras and columns and carpets and skins that we got for buying Ultimate Edition. So I don't think we're getting a bad deal. I've seen a lot of comments saying that people who are gonna start playing are gonna have a better deal, and like, why do they only pay for example $30? Like, if I already bought a Founder Edition, I'm gonna end up paying more than people who start playing now. But that is not the case whatsoever. Right now, like on December 5th, the cheapest way to get full game with expansion is going to be $70. The cheapest way. Right now, if you're a founder, the cheapest way would be to just have a standard edition and to get Rift in Time, which would cost you $60. So it's already lower. And you will get about the same amount of Moonstones. You'll get 13,000. But you will also get additional premium items that come with a Founder Edition. So it's at least an equal trade, or maybe even better trade for Standard Edition, because you also don't forget all of the items that you could get from just being able to play the game early, and all the star paths and all the unique furniture that a lot of people who just start playing on December 5th might not even have access to in the future. So there is, if you are currently playing the game, if you have Founder Edition, there is zero reason for you to buy Gold Edition, because you already gonna have all of this. You basically, the only thing you're gonna get from buying Gold Edition is 10,000 additional Moonstones for extra $40. Instead, for $30, you can get 5,000 Moonstones and the expansion pass. Also, let's not forget, I've seen a lot of comments saying that $30 is ridiculously expensive for an expansion. We don't exactly know how much content is going to be in this expansion. At least it looks like we're unlocking at least 2 new locations with bunch of new critters, bunch of new unlockable characters, potentially lots of quests, and this might not even be it. If it's an expansion, it says expansion pass. There is a high chance that that expansion pass will also be receiving updates over time in addition to the free updates in the game. So it might be actually a lot of content. And don't forget another thing. It comes with 5,000 Moonstones, which in the game shop cost $20. 5,000 Moonstones, it's 2 premium passes. Star passes. Premium star passes. And considering you get most of those Moonstones back, these can last you for years playing Star Path. Or you can also argue 5,000 Moonstones is 1 or 2 good items in a premium shop, which also comes within this price. Plus all the other cool items that you're gonna unlock from potentially doing friendship quests with the new characters, and maybe just doing the part of the story that's gonna be inside this expansion. That we don't know. Once again, let's wait until Wednesday. Hopefully we're gonna get more details on the live stream about this expansion. But in my opinion, free-to-play or not, we were always going to get paid expansions in this game, DLCs, paid characters, stuff like that. And if I'm being honest, $30 for even what we just saw, a sneak peek off, even if there is nothing else besides that just was teased, I still think it's not a bad deal. I was expecting much worse. If you look at a lot of other games, it's very common nowadays to, even for paid games, to sell additional cosmetics, additional characters, additional DLCs with new content. And, like, think about it. If the game went free-to-play, let's say, basically the game needs to continue generating money to keep basically everybody who works on the game employed, which is thousands of people. The game will have to keep generating money, and considering how many more players are going to be in the game, first of all, it's going to be more people, more support people needed, so the expenses go up. More servers needed, especially if we have multiplayer. The server load is going to be insane if the game goes free to play. So the company expenses go up, but the revenue potentially goes down. So they will have to compensate for the drop in revenue by monetizing harder and introducing more and more predatory microtransactions. Like basically the same thing that happened to Disney Speedstorm. So by keeping it not free to play, they're keeping their costs lower. They basically get guaranteed stream of income, because if you buy the game, you basically pay $30. You get immediate value from your purchase. The company gets the money into their cash flow, and they don't have to hope and pray that people are going to buy their microtransactions in the future. They basically just get paid for their work immediately, and you get all the content immediately too. So I see it as an absolute win for most of the people who play this game. They knew they were going to backtrack and free-to-play, just like they're backtracking literally everything else, and just decided not to tell us until the last minute that this is sloppy and gross. Okay, excuse me, I'm gonna have to hard disagree with this. They could actually do what you said. They could wait until the last minute and just say, okay, we're dropping, the game is fully released tomorrow. We're dropping these new offers, no free-to-play. They gave us over a month to basically warn us. I'm sure that it was I don't see why would they knew. How could they know for sure it wasn't going free-to-play? I'm pretty sure they had to take this, they made this decision after seeing the results of Speedstorm going free-to-play, which was a month ago. So I personally think the decision was made very recently, and they told us immediately and gave us a whole month to basically decide what's the best way to go forward. They didn't take away founder packs in case people wanted to buy them, because in my opinion that is still a better deal than waiting for the official release. I would just go for a founder pack, especially if we're gonna have sales on Black Friday or Halloween potentially. They actually, in my opinion, handled it very well in terms that they didn't just spring it on us, but gave us a heads up and gave us options. And they even gave exclusive items from Gold Edition to founder players, which honestly, okay, that was... If they didn't, we would have a big problem. But since they did, they avoided a big problem, honestly. I damn well know they make enough money with how many people have paid for the game on multiple platforms, as well as in-game purchases already. I am very impressed because I tried to find how much money they make. I couldn't. It's just not public information. I don't have any access to their balance sheets, and apparently this person does, and they can tell with confidence that the company is making an insane amount of money and definitely doesn't need to make any more, and probably having thousands of people on payroll, and basically they have to pay for support people, developer people, marketing people, social media people, and all of those people, basically you're saying making too much money, and then they shouldn't charge us anymore. I don't know. I feel like we have no idea how much profits they're actually making on the game. I know making a game like Disney Dreamlight Valley is not cheap, and I've seen the credits after Chapter 1, and I know how many people worked on it, and I personally don't mind supporting those people because I think they did a goddamn good job. Also, can we just appreciate the fact that there is no gambling in Disney Dreamlight Valley, unlike Speedstorm, where you basically have to unlock characters by gambling mostly. And if you want to like upgrade them, you basically have to pay insane money to try to get shards, and you can't even target specific characters you want. At least here, you like the character, you buy them. You like the skin, you like the plant in the premium shop, you buy it. You don't like, you don't buy it. Imagine if we had a box in a premium shop that would cost like 2,000 moonstones, and it just gives you a random premium shop item. Oh man, I'm so glad they decided not to go that way with Disney Dreamlight Valley. Honestly, this is awesome. I'm personally sick of free-to-play games. I'd much rather invest up front in a good game for 1,700 versus constantly paying through time, ending up paying probably double, and it's still being mediocre. I agree. You have to realize that most of the games that are selling right now for the consoles cost $70, and they provide you maybe 10, 15, okay, maybe up to 50 hours of playthrough. Disney Dreamlight Valley is the game that gets constant updates with lots of new content. Most of the people who play the game probably have over 100 hours on this game. How many games can you name that cost less, like that you can buy for $30 currently, that can provide you hundreds of hours of playtime and still keep releasing new updates? Free updates, I must add, all the time. And they still promised to keep releasing free updates in addition to expansion pack. Expansion pack is like DLC. So many games have DLCs. Most of the games have DLCs. I don't see why is it suddenly a problem in Disney Dreamlight Valley. They never said there was not going to be paid DLCs. This is crazy. If you go through this Twitter thread, half of the people are happy and excited, half of the people are mad and pissed off. That's incredible. Wow, this game just became worse. Not only did they lie stating it was gonna be free, they got greedy. There's a marketplace in a premium game. Okay, first of all, I agree. They did... I don't know if they lied, but they did go back on their word. That is a bad thing. I agree. But does it actually make the game worse? In my opinion, not. I've played enough free-to-play games in my life, and honestly, I did not have really good positive experience with either of them. And having a marketplace in a premium game in this day and age is like try to find a game that doesn't. It's like you're telling the old players, we appreciate your hard work. Thank you, here's some free cosmetics. We deserve more than that. We have been through everything with you, thick and thin, good and bad. Give us something more than a pat on the back and free cosmetics. How about a year of awesome gameplay experience and free updates and lots of Star Path items that we pretty much got for free? I feel like that's a good price for being an early access player. We've paid for the game already and we'll have to pay to keep playing the story. Are you for real? Well, they did say there's going to be free story updates. I have a feeling that Jafar's storyline, like the whole chapter 2, is going to be free. I think the expansion is going to be completely optional and it's not going to ruin the main story. But that's just my opinion. I guess we'll find out more on Wednesday. So will the prices for Premium Shop decrease and the cost of the Star Path decrease? You mean from... You want the Star Path to get cheaper than free that it already is? You get most of your... Okay, please watch my videos about the actual cost of Star Path. It's 400 Moonstones. 4 billion items inside of it. How much cheaper do you want it to be? I don't get it. Okay, Premium Shop items, I can see the argument. They are pretty expensive, but... we also have Dream Snaps now, so I don't know. It might be balanced. I feel like it's pretty balanced, but then again, people are gonna say, that's because you get 4,000 Moonstones every week. Well, not every week. Last week I got absolutely wrecked. But I get your point. I get your points. Wow, a lot of people actually say that like the free-to-play aspect of it was like the best thing about the game. I'm completely the opposite. I was dreading the day it goes free-to-play because in my experience... it never ends well. I feel like it's honestly a better decision for the future of Disney Dreamlight Valley. And yeah, we're bound to lose some players. We're bound to lose potential, like the whole potential segment of people who would play the game if it went free to play. But now they're not going to. But I still believe that in the long run, it's going to be better for players' experience and for longevity of the game. So that's just my opinion. If you disagree with it, let's have a polite discussion in the comments. Rapunzel's tower and Eve were shown in the original trailer with no text saying may require additional purchases. Not to mention Eve is in the base game memory, which strongly suggests she's part of the base game. Is that not false advertising? Good question. Very good question. I'm gonna have to agree with that. It was heavily hinted that, like, Eve was mentioned multiple... to be fair, Eve was mostly mentioned by Wally during his paid quest, so... It does feel a little bit shady, and I don't really like this part, so... I have no defense for this one. You are absolutely right, Tapita. That is not very nice. Also, one thing that I want to add. I feel like it would be much easier to swallow if... instead of paying $30 for expansion, you would let us buy it with Moonstones. For example, what is it, like $50 for 14,000, so 10,000 would cost like maybe $35. No, wait. Is it? Yeah, let's say 10,000 Moonstones. I feel like it's fair. It's a little bit more expensive than buying it with money, but give people an option. Buy it with $30 or 10,000 Moonstones. If somebody is really active player and they've been grinding Moonstones, they're really good at Dream Snaps, they log in every day to collect all of the blue chests, I feel like they deserve to get an expansion for Moonstones. Just sell it for equivalent of $30 in Moonstones. That would be fair. That's something I can see a lot of people can get behind too. The other Disney game that GameLove developed is Disney Speedstorm. Disney Speedstorm had a successful free-to-play launch, taking it to top 5 charts in PlayStation and Xbox. What are you... How was that launch? Okay, I will agree. It did go up in players a lot in the first day. And then it dropped like a rock when people realized how pay-to-win and microtransaction-riddled the game is. It dropped like a rock. So even if it did top in top 5 charts on the first day of the launch, I can guarantee it's no longer probably even in top 100 of any charts. The reality, this really hurts all the people that were waiting for it to become free to play. If I had known this, I would have just straight up bought the game months ago, but waited because you said the game would be free to play in 2023. You should have announced this sooner. Once again, excellent point. 100% agree. This hurts the most, the fact that people could actually buy it but decided not to because they promised free to play launch was supposed to be in 2023, and now they might not purchase it because they just gonna feel like they got robbed and missed out on a lot of Star Path content and the game content for not playing it earlier. And I can understand. I completely agree. They should have announced this sooner. But then once again, I don't know when the decision was made. There is a chance the decision was made literally 2 days ago and they announced as soon as they knew. But I do see the point. That is literally one of the worst part about this. Making the game paid and adding $30 DLC feels messed up. Is it though? Isn't that what pretty much most of the games do? So wait, I paid $17 already, but I won't get the DLC unless I pay $30 more. How is that fair? I'm paying more than a new player just to have the same content as them. Yeah, that I've seen this comment a lot, and I completely disproven it in the beginning of the game. Yes, you will pay more, but you get so much more in total. I will agree though that if you do have an Ultimate Edition, maybe they should allow us an option to buy the expansion without the Moonstones and make it like half the price. Make it $15 for Ultimate Edition owners only, and take out Moonstones from it. I feel like that would be a good value. For $15 to get the whole expansion, count me in. Holy crap, that's a long video. My god, we've been going at it for so long. I hope you like it. I hope you appreciate it, because it's probably the longest video on this channel. Anyway, I think it's done. I've been reading these comments most of the day, and there is like 80% negative comments, 20% positive comments. Okay, maybe 70% negative, 20% positive, and 10% can decide if it's good or bad news. And I understand, it's been a lot. It's been a lot of news dumped on us today, and it's going to take a while to basically come to terms with it and get through what exactly it means. Basically, in the end, it comes out to, are you enjoying the game? Do you feel like you're getting many, many hours of fun and enjoyment out of playing this game? Then calculate how much you paid, calculate how much hours you've spent in the game, and compare it to something else. For example, buying a coffee in Starbucks or a burger in McDonald's, and just compare how many hours of enjoyment you get per dollar from Disney Dreamlight Valley versus some other things you do on a regular basis, and then you can make a decision if you feel like something else is more worth it. Now, of course, we would all love the game to have free updates and live long time to come, keep releasing all the hundreds of characters from Disney universe and never charge us a single dollar. However, unfortunately, that is not how business works. They do have people working for them that they have to pay, and they do need to figure out the way how to continuously monetize the game if they're going to keep releasing lots of content. So I personally think that they made the right choice. It does screw with a bunch of people who were expecting it to go free to play for various reasons. But I feel like when it's all blows over, hopefully in the future, after the expansion actually comes out, hopefully it's good, hopefully it's worth it, and hopefully it's going to change people's perception, and we're gonna be able to get past all of this negativity. But for now, I respect everybody who feels like they got robbed by this announcement and don't like the decision, but I also implore you to look at the bright side, because there is a bright side. It might be hard to see it right now, but if you really like the game and if you're really excited to play it, I feel like you are going to get a lot of value out of paying $30. And I'm not sponsored whatsoever, so I'm just sharing my opinion, and I'm going to be here to give you all of the news and all of the content reviews, so you can see for yourself if it's something that is worth paying for you. Anyway, looking forward to having discussion with you in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Huge thanks to all of our supporters. I really try to keep this channel as positive as possible, because we do have enough negativity in our lives already from just being alive, pretty much. And Disney Dreamlight Valley is such a nice and positive and cute and cozy game, and I just hate seeing this, like, people getting divided and angry and upset in the comments. I just want everybody to be happy and have fun, and god damn it, I wish that was possible, but there is always going to be certain decisions that are gonna not sit well with some people, and there's nothing we can do about it. So thank you for watching. Huge thanks to all of our supporters, and I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.